你好，朋友们，欢迎收看我最新的视频，我就是光头哥 ，A.K.A.
Evan Danger。
今天我们要采访来自美国的 rapper Skinny OG。那 OG 先生已经是上海最受欢迎的外国 rapper 之一。他不但在全中国10年，而且他的 rap 团队 BCMC 有几百万个粉丝。所以今天我们就要听一听美国的 rapper 怎么看中国的 rap。Hey guys, I am here with the one and only Skinny OG. Mr. OG, can you please tell the fans a little bit about yourself, your career in rap, and your life in China?
That's a lot. That's a lot of questions all at once. Let me see. My name is Skinny OG. I've been in Shanghai, China about 5 years. I've been rapping since I was, I grew up in New York City, so I've been doing hip hop my whole life. I started out as a breakdancer when I was about 6-7 years old, and since then I kind of evolved into DJing a little bit when I was in my teens, and eventually I moved into just rap as it's known today. Back then we just called it, spitting, just called it poetry, freestyling, whatever. It came really natural to us. So I've been doing that for quite a while, and I've been in China for 5 years doing that the whole time. I actually came to China so I would be able to expand my musical horizons, so to speak. I've been around the country. I've been around different countries in the world and around the United States, and I was looking for a new place to go to and pursue musical adventures. And I heard great things about China and the hip-hop scene here, and I decided, well, why not here? So I came.
Sounds good. And in your opinion, right now, who is the number one American rapper and who is the number one Chinese rapper?
Ouch, now that's even tougher. There's so many great talented people in rap in America. It's really hard to say who is the best. It's extremely hard. I personally, I really like Kendrick Lamar, and Tupac might be my all-time favorite. But that's really trying to narrow down the list. Like, there's really a lot of great rappers. I would say a lot of underrated rappers, like whether you're talking about Fabulous or Black Thought from the Roots, or whether you're talking about people who deservedly are at the top of the game, like a Drake. There's a lot of great people who deserve the title, who might deserve the title of the best. It's kind of subjective. For me, I'd say in a heartbeat, I'd say Tupac or I'd say Kendrick Lamar. In China, it's almost just as difficult because there's so many talented rappers, and I hate being kind of biased towards the ones who rap in English, which I am because my Chinese is a little yidian. So I like MC Jin because I can understand what he's saying half the time. Watching Rap of China, I hear a lot of guys who have extreme amounts of talent, whether it's the ICE crew, the Ice crew, whether it's ICE or Ice, I'm not sure how they call themselves. Female rappers like VAVA. There's just so many really talented people out here in the Chinese scene. It's even harder for me to pin down who's my favorite. But I might probably say it's the Higher Brothers. That's probably my favorite Chinese rap crew, the Higher Brothers.
Higher Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they on Rap of China or?
No. They've kind of surpassed the Rap of China level.
Wow.
They're like the hottest rap crew in China, and they're based out of Chengdu. And they're really kind of international. They do like tours around the world and stuff. So Rap of China has a lot of very popular artists, but they're not quite as big as the Higher Brothers.
Wow, I didn't even know. I watched a little bit of Rap of China last week. I saw Guy's, is it GAI or Guy?
Yeah, Guy.
Guy? Okay.
Guy.
I saw a Guy's performance. He started off with like a traditional Erhu and Pipa background, and then he was singing, and then he broke into a rap. I thought it was very interesting. Have you noticed though on Rap of China, like all the commercials, it's just like them rapping about Huawei phones or like Ping An Insurance or something. It's like, and you know they're making ridiculous amounts of money to do that, but it's like, really? You want me to write a rap about fucking Huawei phones? I don't know.
Yeah. The funniest thing for me about Rap of China, which I totally appreciate the show. I love it. It's extremely entertaining. At the same time, it's kind of like watching the Harlem Globetrotters play basketball. It's kind of like it's too polished. It's extremely very much like this isn't really what a real show looks like, what a real concert looks like. You know, the sound quality, it's produced for TV,
right? And
so the performances are super slick. You got pyrotechnics and this and that. It doesn't have those kind of real gritty elements that you would expect from real hip hop. So it's kind of not. It's kind of like a pop show, and just super slick. Like if you see the Harlem Globetrotters playing basketball, we all know that those guys aren't like, they would never win a championship in the league. You know, you can't put the basketball in your t-shirt and bump the referee on the head. It's like, it's entertaining. It's super entertaining, but it's not really real. It's just entertainment, which compared to like hip hop as we do it in the States, it's extremely real. Whether you're talking about battles or ciphers or regular concerts, like anywhere in the world where you go. Like I do shows all over the place, and when I look at my shows, or even, you know, the biggest international superstars, the sound quality is always a challenge because it's a live performance,
right?
And you know, you might have some technical issues. You have these huge speakers booming out to the crowd. But Rap of China, it's like you can always hear the super sound quality. They probably did 15 takes of everything and cut it from different angles and pieced together the best sound. And so it's not really like 100% this is raw, authentic hip hop. It's kind of like, hey, look at this spectacle, have a good time. So it's kind of different. But I love it though, it's entertaining as hell. And I get to discover a lot of Chinese talent, Chinese rappers that I didn't know about before.
Right.
So I enjoy it.
Well, now that you mentioned that, one thing I wanted to ask you about is, you know, I've seen you and Queen Diamond at the underground clubs, you know, shout out to Harley's, and Harley's isn't even around anymore. Yeah. But I've never actually been to like a proper live Chinese concert. I've never seen like a Chinese rap concert before. What is that like? What's the energy like? How real can they get with the lyrics as opposed to, you know, the stuff on Rap of China, which has to get the stamp of approval first?
Okay, those are like two questions. So on the one hand, you have the fact that as far as the lyrics go, like as you mentioned on Rap of China, all the lyrics have to be super clean. But even outside of the TV show, in China, Chinese rappers in particular, have to keep their lyrics very clean.
Yeah.
So it prevents them from getting really deep with their topics and their subject matter and their songs. And that's a huge difference from rap in other countries. Like when rappers get banned, let's say in France, or even in America back when they were banning Ice-T and 2 Live Crew and stuff. You know, we know why they were banning those guys. You know, right. It's either against the police, it attacks morality, whatever, however people felt. Nowadays, you have rappers getting banned in France and in the UK, like drill rappers and rappers who get too political, and you know, the government tries to put cases on them, and that's an attack on freedom of speech, and it's a two-way fight. China has its own guidelines by which you're not going to win that legal battle against the government. So most rappers out here, they're not even trying to go down that road. They just keep their stuff very PG, almost rated G, if anything. So it really doesn't delve very far lyrically. And as far as the performances go, though, you have such different crowds in China for a rap concert. So if you're going to, for example, a Higher Brothers concert, where they have millions and millions of fans. Their concerts are full of hardcore hip hop fans, and it's almost the same thing if you go to. Sometimes you have these big name artists that come to China, and they get kind of the same reaction where people really go crazy for them. But on the whole, Chinese audiences tend to be very demure. And I heard the same thing about like audiences in Japan and Korea. You know, maybe it's a thing on this side of the world where the crowds tend to be a little more reserved. So you're there pouring your heart out and putting out your best performance, and people are just watching, and they almost have to be cued to clap. You know, you might do a whole song and they're just looking at you, and then your hype man will be like, come on, he did the song, it was great, clap for him. Then people will be like, yay, and they'll clap. But on their own, they don't show that much passion. Not that they're not enjoying it, but they just react differently. Now, that's for a lot of people. On the other hand, first of all, they are enjoying it, don't get me wrong. They enjoy it a lot, they enjoy the entertainment. But when you have the real hip hop fans, that's when you get people who really lose their brain, and you get a reaction that's a lot closer to what we get in the States, for example. You know, if people are going to a concert and they're seeing a song they like, you're gonna get that reaction from the crowd. And here, when you're dealing with the true hip hop fans, it gets amped up a level. Like I've seen some wild shit. Like I can curse, right? I've seen some pretty wild shit from fans out here sometimes at some shows. Like they are like you will get some people flashing you sometimes. You will get you can go crowd surfing. You'll get people jumping on stage trying to like dance with you, and it's like you get all that out here too. But it's just a difference in different crowds, you know? It's a difference between the real hip hop fans and the people who are just coming out to discover it, because it's kind of new to a lot of people. So they'll come out and enjoy a show and be like, oh, that's so cool. And that'll be their whole reaction all night. Oh, yeah. And that's all you're gonna get from them. Then you have the other ones that are like, oh my God, yes! I want to murder you! And like it's like, okay, that I'm used to that a little more. Okay. Like, okay, that's cool.
I wish we get that at comedy shows sometimes, but still waiting. Maybe, I don't know, maybe tomorrow night. I doubt it. On that note, actually, because I know you mentioned you perform all over the place. Shanghai, of course, is a very international city. We've got everything here, pretty much. But you've also been to like 4 and 5 tier cities in the middle of nowhere, China.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me your best experience and like your weirdest experience? 'Cause I know when you go like way out there, it's like a different world, right?
Yeah. So let's see. Best and weirdest. Weird isn't bad. Sometimes the weird experiences are pretty good too. I had one concert where I ended up in, I guess it was like Inner Mongolia, and I didn't know where I was going. I was doing so many shows at the time that I had my map was all screwed up in my head. So I thought I was headed to the south of the country, you know. So I was rocking some shorts, some low-cut sneakers, a t-shirt. Next thing I know, I'm in Inner Mongolia. The temperature is like 10 degrees outside, and I'm like, this is not Guangzhou. And I'm like trying to check my map real quick and you know, get my internet up and trying to call some people, being like, where exactly am I? And I found out I'm in Inner Mongolia, and they had booked me for this club appearance. And so they came and picked me up in this chauffeured car, gave me the whole red carpet treatment. I'm stepping out of the red carpet, and I've got fans like waving posters with my picture and my name and stuff, and I was totally unprepared. I wasn't expecting all of this. I thought I was going to a city down south that I'd been to a bunch of times. I was like, okay, cool, I'm just going to do a club down there. And I go to this city where they've never had a hip-hop performer before, and they're really excited, and they did all this promotion, and you had all these fans out there waiting for like, ah! And I was like, oh my God, I'm like underdressed. I'm stepping out of this luxury vehicle straight to the venue, and I'm like, hey, hi, yeah, nice to meet you. Okay, let's do this. And that was really funny. That was my fault because I had no idea where I was. But they came for the music, and that's what they got. We had a good time there. And that was a funny experience and lots of fun. Lots of fun. I really enjoyed that. I did another music festival, and this was weird. This was a first time experience for me. We went up in about no, it wasn't about. I forgot the name of the place, but it was way up in the Himalayas, and so we're at an altitude of like 5,000 feet or something crazy, with very thin air. And so they told me, like, look, when you get ready to do the show, just let us know if you feel lightheaded or anything. And I was like, oh, I think I'll be fine. But then I spent the night. The next day I woke up and it was hard to breathe, and I'd never been up this high before. So they literally.
Wait, sorry, where was this?
I'm trying to remember the name of the city, of the town. It wasn't even a city, it was a town. Way up near the border with Nepal. And
what province? Do you remember?
I do so many shows this hard. I just know I was up in the Himalayas. I was taking pictures. I'd never been so high in the mountains. Like I was taller mountains than I've ever seen before. Whole horizon. I was just busy snapping pics. I could tell you later if I had looked it up, but I don't remember right now. And there were yaks everywhere. So everything was yak milk.
Yes, dude, I love yak. Yes. Oh man, it's so good.
And you had all these Buddhist monks in their robes. And so I'm doing a hip hop concert. Once again, people who've never heard hip hop before. And you have all these Buddhist monks in their robes, and like it was a big music festival. Hao Yuan was the name of the place. Hao Yuan, Haoyuan. It was the Hao Yuan Yak Music Festival. And you had all these people, and they're in all their traditional clothing. And I'm like, this is so interesting. And and I'm rocking the stage, I'm rocking, and they're just like, yeah. And they're like getting into it. And it was so funny because, you have these Buddhist monks out there, and they're like, yeah. They don't really know what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep it clean, I'm trying to keep it clean for them. But my subject matter tends to get a little raunchy sometimes, but they didn't care. They were just enjoying the music. And it was really funny to see them rocking out to like, I want $1 million, bitch, I want $1 million. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
you have no idea what I'm saying, but good vibe, good atmosphere. We're all having a good time. That's cool. That's interesting. Okay, and I think, let's say this last but not least, say the most important question on everybody's mind. Your number one favorite Chinese food.
Oh my gosh. Number one favorite Chinese food. Now a lot of people might say hot pot. I'm gonna show my affinity for Southern cuisine here and say pig feet. Pig feet. For all my Chinese people who don't know, for all my foreign people who don't know, pig feet are huge in China. They love their pig feet, and having grown up with a lot of Southern cuisine in my life, I love my pig feet too. Shout out to all my Creole people, my Louisiana people, everybody who love their pig feet. Come try some Chinese pig feet, because they are tremendous out here. Pig knuckles. Yep. Can't get enough. Hey, there's not a lot of meat on them. So I literally can't get enough, because you need a lot just to fill yourself up. You need a lot. It takes a lot of pig knuckles.
Okay, pig's feet from Skinny OG. All right, cool.